Howdy. I was mentioning yesterday the timeline issue. With the timeline issue, I mean that many things in the past didn't happen millions or billions of years ago. Many things don't take thousands or millions of years in order to happen. Surprise! Geomagnetic storm. And we are at the NASA page. Earth's magnetic field was supposed to be quiet on April 10th. Instead, a strong G3 class geomagnetic storm broke out. At the apex of the disturbance, auroras crossed the Canadian border into multiple northern entire US states. Dirk S. Miller sends these pictures from Rice Lake, Wisconsin. And here you can see how they are actually vertical structures. Even with a half moon shining, I could still see the aurora, says Miller. It was a nice night to be out. What caused the storm? We are not sure. One possibility is a CME, which hit Earth's magnetic field 2 days ago. Initially, the weak impact on April 8 had a little effect, but unrest has been brewing ever since. We could be seeing the effect of Earth's passage through the CME's extended wake. KP index 5. And this is already going on since a while, I guess, a few hours. And there is actually not solar wind. There's nothing too wild here, actually. But nonetheless, we are scraping on the threshold level here since many hours already. There hasn't been any major flares or anything today. C4. Yeah, it has been quiet at the sun. This looks really interesting. I just happened to notice this now. A butterfly-shaped coronal hole structure turning. No, I would say probably 12 hours from here it is in front of Earth. And then it still takes a few days until the stream reaches Earth. But this looks really interesting. Hopefully someone who knows more about this stuff will pick it up. But anyway, we have something going on and no one knows what or where it's originating from. And I think it's really interesting. What caused the storm? We're not sure. One possibility is a CME. So isn't there any other possibility? That's the only thing they come up. Really? Earth's magnetic field is changing and all these kind of things. This is the second highest layer we get on null school about the winds. The geographic North Pole is here where the cross is. And now let's check out the highest level we can get, which is, I think, about 30 kilometers or something. So, our polar vortex isn't anymore. The southern vortex has been strengthened up really quickly, and the polar vortex somehow dissipated really quickly. And for some reason, here we have this kind of steady weather occurrences here near Greenland in this bay. Something going on. I don't know yet why or what. Does it mean anything? I don't know. But this is how it looks at the moment. And if we go down a bit with the height, let's go to the surface. This might explain why we had some geomagnetic activity. Because the polar vortex somehow isn't really in place or working, or how to put it. It has a really strange shape. And also the weather systems we have in the northern hemisphere. We have one here on this side and one here on that side. And the thing is, if that's the geographic North Pole here, those are on the same side. If you go to that side to watch, like over Russia, Siberia, or if we would make a straight line approximately from the position of the magnetic North Pole to the possible new position of the North Pole, which is somewhere here, there's not that much going on weather-wise. There is this kind of, it's not really empty, still we have something a little bit going on here, but it's surprisingly quiet, which is really interesting. And now we had surprising geomagnetic activity, which probably should one make worry about how they actually measure and can predict and understand the whole thing about warning us about whatever might come up about geomagnetic activity. I guess it's easy to predict if you can watch the sun, you see an eruption, and then, yeah, 2 or 4 days, 2, 3, 4, 5 days it might take until it's here on Earth. But now we have something out of the blue, at least according to NASA. And I'm waiting for news. Probably they pick it up. I don't know. Hopefully. It's really interesting. Does this mean that we probably don't even need some bigger eruption or any eruption at all from the sun in order to destabilize Earth's magnetic field, at least for some while? Just because it's so weak? Is it possible? I don't know. But we have to take everything into account since no one ever who is alive today has experienced the things which are going on. So we have to take all kinds of surprises into account and try to think the unthinkable. And if we go up higher, we notice that there is something stronger in here, but it has a dent southwards. From the approximate magnetic North Pole position to the new North Pole position. But this might just be a coincidence. Anyway, I leave it here. Interesting times. Thanks. Bye.